Hi guys, it's Gareth Owen here. This is the 10th of December 2015. I want to show you this video. This is very revealing. These interviews, short questions, provided by the Affiliated Forces Power Hour team of Ian Biggs, Frank Calabro Jr. and Ari Maccabee. They're interviewing the CEO of Traffic Monsoon, Mr. Charles Scoville. I think it's important that I recorded this because it's absolutely vital for you to realise, so you can make your own decision about whether Traffic Monsoon is the sort of business you would like to be in. So I'm going to play the video for a few minutes, and you can make your own mind up.
Here, and he wants to get in on the questions, if you don't mind. So, Frank, I see your little ping there. You don't have to poke me anymore, my man. Go ahead, Frank, if you want to ask Charles some questions while we have him, because I mean, obviously he's just getting rolling here. So let's ask him some hard questions. You know, I did a couple of lob softballs there. I'm trying to be nice with my ugly sweater tonight. Hit him with some hard questions there, Frank, about the actual advertising and such.
Well, thanks, Charles, for coming out and spending some time with us, especially the early hours of the AM. And I'm actually happy that when I team up with someone, especially if they've been through the ringer like we all have, and that's how we learn. I mean, a lot of people think that I'm successful and this and that, but they only see the success. They don't see the 4 complete years of failure. And I worked the whole year to make $25. I mean, make a commission like that, and people don't see that. You know what I mean? They don't see the struggle and the lessons that you learn along the way. So, I'm actually I feel more confident teaming up with someone that has been through the ringer because they've learned the lessons. And you know what? That's how you get wisdom, man. You get wisdom by just going through the ringer and just I've heard John Madden say the road to success leads through the sewer, man. That's true, man. It's 100% true. But I wanted to ask you about the product, guys. Charles, because that's why I'm here. I came over here for the product, and I realize how powerful a traffic exchange is, like you discovered when you started utilizing it yourself. And there's probably a lot of new people out there watching this for the first time, and they're trying to figure out, I want to ask you, to talk about the advertising products that we do offer here on the platform, and specifically talk about the ad pack. Like, what are people? I know I touched on it a little bit in the presentation, but explain what people are buying when they buy an ad pack and what they're getting, for their $50. Can you explain and touch on just the product side of the house?
Sure, absolutely. With the ad pack, what you're receiving is, like what you mentioned before, 1,000 traffic exchange credits. So each credit is a visitor to your website. And then also you're getting 20 clicks to a banner. Now, the great thing about getting clicks, in my advertising experience as a marketer, I would put banners on different traffic exchanges and they were just impression based. And so your banner credits would just be used up and you might not even get a single click, but you spent all this kind of money to get visitors to your website through that banner and you didn't get any. But the great thing about Traffic Monsoon is you're only paying for the clicks. So there's sometimes people look at and saying, hey, my banner hasn't gotten any clicks yet. Something might be wrong. Well, if you're not getting clicks, change your banner because people don't want to click on it the way that it looks right now. So just that's something that I just look at it and just say, you're not wasting your money in this. You can now change it and tweak it without having to spend more money on that advertising without wasting your money. Plus, with that ad pack, you're getting one sharing position. And what I look at that sharing position is like a bucket. And as you're talking about this, there's a lot other advertising services that are available on Traffic Monsoon. So as people are buying those, that bucket fills up. As people are buying all of the services, and ad pack is one of the services. That's definitely one of the services that we offer because with it comes advertising. So all of the services that we offer helps fill up your bucket until it reaches $55. There's no guaranteed time when it will fill or even a guarantee that it will fill. It's not an investment. So that's what the ad pack is.
That's awesome. I mean, basically, people can learn the fundamentals of marketing by coming over here, and they're not wasting that traffic because, like you said, if they're not clicking on their banner, change your banner. So, if you spend money, just say, for example, over on Facebook on an advertising campaign, well, once that money's spent, it's spent. If you turned a profit, great. If you didn't, you lost money. Guess what? You just learned a valuable lesson. Here, you can actually test offers on this exchange. You can actually take those same offers, those same funnels, go to other traffic sources and utilize them. You actually get paid to test over here, the way I'm looking at it. I mean, and that's 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 a pretty savvy move right there. Getting paid to advertise. It's a very rare thing because we know how expensive it is, over there at Facebook to advertise. I got another question for you about the ad packs, and actually I wanted to ask you about how the profit share is calculated, which is, I guess, connected to the ad packs. But and
Hey,
also,
Frank, can I quickly, because I just want to ask quick. You talked about advertising, Charles. Do you mind? One last question, because it brought something up, and then you can get into how many active advertisers. You talked about the active members, because I know people are always curious. How many active advertisers do you actually have on this system?
Well, that's what that number is, because they've had to purchase some advertising. So
Gotcha. Okay. Just
Yeah.
someone basically was trying to clarify that, and so that's why I apologize, Frank, but that's fantastic, because that makes all the sense in the world. Frank, that segues into the question you were about to ask. So that's why I had to jump in. Yeah. Okay.
I got you. And I just read up on this myself last night, but I wanted to ask this question because I know a lot of people don't know how this works. Is Charles, I wanted to ask you about how the profit share works and how the reserve is built up off of that. And if you could just explain that in simple terms that, anybody can understand.
Sure. I guess probably the easiest way is like what I was saying was that bucket illustration. Because if you can imagine just a sharing position being a bucket, then when people are making a purchase, 10% of that purchase is, of course, going straight to the sponsor for the referral commission. There's a portion of that purchase also being stored away as a reserve fund, just in case. And then above that is going to be the amount that gets shared. Now, the really great thing about that reserve is what that does is it acts as shocks. Because what we know in business, a lot of business owners know this, a lot of leaders know this, is that in a business, you're going to have ups and downs in sales. Some days are going to be higher, some days are going to be lower. But a lot of people that are average don't realize that. So if over the weekend the revenue sharing is lower, or during a holiday the revenue sharing is lower, we wanted to keep those low points higher. So we're going to tap into some of those reserves to help smooth those bumps out. And those higher days where it's a huge spike in sales, we're going to take some of that as well and save that away for later when sales are a little bit lower, so we can kind of keep that bumpy road at an even keel, so that people don't have to worry or panic and have any kind of fear, uncertainty, or doubt that Traffic Monsoon is here and is going to keep going, because that's exactly what this is here for. So that's really how the sharing works, is that as sales are generated for all the services, and as was mentioned before, advertising is one of the most popular services out there. Like I said, also, I struggled selling energy drinks, but selling advertising is like selling shovels to the people out there mining or digging pits or something like that. This is something that you're selling a tool, you're selling something that helps them build their business. And every business out there in the world needs advertising to grow. They need more traffic, they need more leads for their business. So that's really what Traffic Monsoon is doing, is it's tapping into a need that's really out there. There's over 38 million home-based businesses in the United States alone, and all of these businesses have websites, and all of them need traffic. So that's what it is that we're offering. And so we're selling those services, and then from those sales, we are now sharing the revenue with people who qualify by simply clicking at least a minimum of those 10 ads in the traffic exchange.
Excellent, man. That's excellent. That's very clear explanation. All right, just one last thing for me, and I wanted to ask you if there's any future plans to cap the ad packs. Is there ever going to be a limit on how much advertising space that we can buy on the platform? Is there any plans in place for that, or anything? Do you foresee anything like that happening?
No, I don't plan to ever do that at all. And I believe the reason why, and a number of people have asked this because they think that it would be unsustainable. And the way that I look at sustainability is the sustainability of really any business out there, whether it's Walmart, McDonald's, Tesco, or whatever store, whether it's a shop or a store online, whatever it is, the ultimate sustainability of any business is whether it can meet the customer's demand with their quality and at a competitive price. So what we're really looking at with Traffic Monsoon is there's definitely a demand out there for advertising. There's a demand out there, especially in the home-based business industry, and definitely at the prices that we have to offer. So if we can keep providing the services at the prices that we have to offer, then we should continue to bring in more and more sales of service and repurchases of all of the different services that we have to offer. So that's where the real sustainability comes. It doesn't come through math. It doesn't come through capping customers in their purchases, because if you tell a customer that they can't buy service, that's actually suffocating your business. You want those sales. So telling them that they can't buy any more after a certain amount is like telling people stop buying candy out of the candy machine at the store. You've already had your 5, stop buying. It's like, no, buy as much candy as you want. We'll fill up the machine with some more candy.
That's awesome, man. Supply and demand. I like that. All right, man. I'm done. I appreciate it, Charles.
Wow, wow, Charles. Yeah, that I love that candy part, because I love candy,
Right.
especially. So great for analogy there, because I think the hard part is for us to get across how simple the business actually is. People tend to overcomplicate it. Don't you find that when you try to explain it, people tend to add more stuff to it, and you continue to try to keep it pretty simple, like that candy example you used. So that was fantastic. I know Ari has some great questions for you, so I did want to bring him in, because what we're going to do for those people out there, again, as you can see, one of the great things we love about Charles as a CEO is he doesn't have anything to hide. He's putting it all out there for you. He's here very late in the morning, early, whatever you think it is, to share with you his vision and what he's helped build. And obviously, people like us and other team leaders out there obviously help build it, as he said, as we want more and more traffic for our offers. And I think that goes right into a question you had, Ari, because you pinged me there. You had a question about the actual a different traffic exchange. Did you not, Ari?
Yeah, absolutely. I got a couple things I want to hit you with real quick. Obviously, you firmly believe that we're safe from, government agency scrutinization, and you believe that, we're going to be here for a long time, correct?
Absolutely. And if the government comes to scrutinize Traffic Monsoon, it'll be a little inconvenient. It'll be maybe stressful, because it means that I'm going to have to provide them all of the evidence, and I'll just have to sit and wait to hear what their response is, just like what happened with Ad Hit Profits. But I'm fully confident that if we are scrutinized, that we're going to pass with flying colors, because everything really is operating completely above board.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
Wow.
I got one last question real quick, Big, because I know Frankie touched on this a little bit, but tell me, what's the current financial status, with Traffic Monsoon, as far as like the reserves and so on and so forth? I mean, how secure are we, financially?
I can respect that concern. And I remember when we first launched Traffic Monsoon, we were, building up a reserve as well. It was about $75,000 our first month. And I was just thinking, let's see how this goes. And it kept going up. And by the time we reached our 8-month mark, or actually 6-month mark, we showed to leaders here in the UK, in Birmingham, that we had about $8 million in reserves, and that blew people away. And then now in a couple of days, I'm going to be showing leaders that we're actually up to about $28 million in reserves. Woo! So what that means is we're definitely in a good position, absolutely, for a company.
That's great.
So there you go, guys. That's the truth about Traffic Monsoon. If you're still watching the video, make sure you get in touch with the person that showed you this, or if you're on a YouTube or a landing page with this video, just fill in the information and go there for the next step. Traffic Monsoon will be around for a long, long time in the future. It's a major, major strong business to get in, and you can see there's some serious leaders behind the business, and we've got an absolutely transparent CEO. So all the best, and best of luck with your Traffic Monsoon business. Take care. Gareth Owen signing off. Bye-bye.